Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something really exciting. Building a custom widget for SAP Analytics Cloud using AI. Specifically, we're using Claude Code, Anthropic's agentic coding tool, to do the heavy lifting for us. We built a widget add-on, extending an existing SAC chart with rounded bars and even a quirky bike icon renderer. That was cool. But today we go further. We're building a full custom widget from scratch. One that brings in an external visualization library called Apache Etchits, and integrating it natively into SAC. A widget add-on extends SAC's native charts. You keep the data binding, you keep the SAC experience, you just tweak how things look or behave. Quick wins. Less complexity. A custom widget, on the other hand, gives you full control. You're building the visualization yourself, from the ground up, using web components. That means you can plug in any open-source library, create any chart type imaginable, and have it show up in SAC Story Builder just like a native chart. The trade-off? More power, more complexity. You have to manage rendering, data flows, and library integration yourself. That's exactly where Claude Code becomes your secret weapon. Now let's talk setup. The author is working on a Windows environment with a dedicated project folder, in this case C:\SAP develop SAC grave accent. Claude Code is launched directly from inside that folder. One extra preparation step the author takes: installing the Superpowers plugin for Claude Code. You can install it with a single command: Claude plugin install Superpowers at Claude Plugins Official, or trigger it from within Claude Code using /plugin install Superpowers at Claude Plugins Official. What does it do? It makes Claude Code work in a more structured, transparent way, breaking big tasks into smaller, visible steps. It's not required, but in practice it saves you from messy back and forth. Think of it as giving Claude a better project management brain. Here's where things get interesting. The author crafts a smart initial prompt. Instead of just saying, "Build me a widget," the prompt includes two key things. 1. The goal. Take an Apache Etchits example and adapt it as a SAC custom widget, making it work with SAC data inside a story. 2. A reference. A link to a GitHub repository of SAP sample custom widgets, so Claude Code understands the expected structure, file layout, and conventions before writing a single line of code. This is a really important pattern. By giving Claude both the what and the how it should look, you dramatically reduce unnecessary iterations. Claude doesn't have to guess what a SAC custom widget looks like. It can read an authoritative example and align its output accordingly. After the prompt is submitted, Claude Code immediately starts analyzing the project folder and fetches the GitHub repository to study the structure. No hand-holding needed. Let's talk about what is being built. The Etchits example chosen here is a chart that visualizes how values evolve over time, with smooth transitions and animated rendering. It's much more engaging than a static line or bar chart. Think of it as an animated time series chart. It's visually compelling, tells a story about change, and is exactly the kind of visualization that SAC doesn't provide natively out of the box. The goal is to take this example as inspiration, not just copy it, and recreate it as a SAC custom widget that connects to live SAC data and fits naturally into the story environment. So what does Claude Code actually do here? Let's walk through the workflow. After receiving the prompt, Claude Code 1. Analyzes the context, reads the project folder, understands the existing files. 2. Fetches the reference, pulls the GitHub sample repository to understand the SAC custom widget structure, the JSON metadata file, the JavaScript web component, data binding patterns. 3. Breaks down the task. Thanks to the Superpowers plugin, it plans the work in transparent steps before executing. 4. Generates the widget files, the JSON config, the JavaScript component, CSS if needed, all structured correctly for SAC. 5. Adapts the Etchits logic, wires up the SAC data binding so the chart renders live data, not just hard-coded sample data. The key insight from the author is this: Claude didn't just generate code. It understood the context, what SAC expects, what Etchits needs, and how to bridge the two. That's the difference between a tool that writes code and a tool that solves problems. The end result is a fully working SAC custom widget that appears in the SAC Story Builder widget panel, just like any native chart. Connects to SAC data through standard data binding. Renders the animated time series Etchits visualization. runs smoothly inside a SAC story environment. And here's the kicker, the whole experiment from the first prompt to a working widget is done in a fraction of the time it would take manually. We're talking minutes to hours, not days. This is what AI-assisted development looks like in practice. Not replacing developers but compressing the cycle dramatically. Let me summarize the key lessons from this experiment. 1. Context is everything. Giving Claude Code a reference implementation alongside your goal is the single biggest factor in reducing wasted iterations. Don't just describe what you want, show it what done looks like. 2. Custom widgets unlock real power. SAC covers most visualization needs natively, but when you need something specialized, animated charts, custom layouts, niche business visuals, the custom widget SDK is the right extension point. Any open-source library can be plugged in. 3. The Superpowers plugin genuinely helps. Breaking tasks into structured steps makes Claude Code more reliable and easier to follow. Well worth the one-line install. 4. You don't need to be a JavaScript expert. The author's whole approach is: describe the outcome, provide the context, react to what you see. Claude Code handles the technical translation. You stay in problem-solving mode. So to wrap up, if you're working with SAP Analytics Cloud and you've ever wanted to build a custom visualization but felt intimidated by the widget SDK, this experiment shows there's a much more accessible path now. Pair Claude Code with a good prompt, a solid reference, and the Superpowers plugin, and you've got an AI development partner that handles the complexity while you focus on the outcome.